Another traditional song about the Kelly gang tells of the infamous shootout between them and the 4 Mansfield policemen that took place at Stringybark Creek, 270 kilometres from Melbourne, on the 26th of October 1878. The police had ridden out with tents and supplies to search for the gang. Ned and his brother surprised 2 of them, McIntyre and Lonigan, at their camp and held them up. McIntyre surrendered, but Lonigan fired at Ned, so Ned fired back and shot and killed Lonigan. When the other 2 members of the group returned, McIntyre had agreed to tell them to surrender, as Ned had promised not to harm them. However, Scanlan fired a shot and was shot in return. Kennedy took cover behind a tree and fired shots and was also killed by Ned. McIntyre escaped on horseback and Ned supposedly let him go, wishing to keep his promise. It was these events where Ned committed his first murders, which he claimed were all in self-defence, that sealed his fate when he ultimately stood trial. The gang was declared outlaws at the Mansfield courthouse on November 15th, 1878, when they failed to appear, and a reward of £800 for the Kelly gang, 200 for each member, was posted in Victoria. And this is one of a number of songs written about the incident, most of which make Kelly out to be a hero, but the truth is it's more likely he was a dangerous criminal, not some kind of Robin Hood figure. A sergeant and 3 constables rode out from Mansfield town at the end of last October for to hunt the Kellys down. They started for the Wombat Hills and found it quite a lark to be camped upon the borders of a creek called Stringybark. When Scanlan and the sergeant rode away to search the scrub, leaving McIntyre and Lonigan in camp to cook the grub, Ned Kelly and his comrades came to take a nearer look. For being short of flour, they wished to interview the cook. Both the troopers at the camp alone they were well pleased to see, watching while the billy boiled to make their pints of tea. There they smoked and chattered gaily, never thinking of alarms, till they heard the dreaded cry behind, "Bail up, lay down your arms." It was later in the afternoon, the sergeant and his mate came riding blithely through the bush to meet their cruel fate. "The Kellys have the drop on you," the prisoners cried aloud, but the troopers took it as a joke and sat their horses proud. Then Trooper Scanlan made a move, his rifle to unsling. To his heart a bullet sped and death was in its sting. Then Kennedy leapt off his mount and ran for cover near, and fought most gamely to the last, for all his life held dear. The sergeant horse raced through the camp, escaping friend and foe, and McIntyre, his life at stake, sprang to the saddle bow, and galloped far into the night, a haunted, harassed man, then planted in a wombat hole till morning light began. At dawn of day he's hastened out and made for Mansfield town, to break the news that made men vow to shoot the killers down. So from that hour the Kelly gang was hunted far and wide, like outlaw dingoes of the hills, until the day they died.